Who are some of your favorite artists to listen to? Not necessarily drummers, but just in general music.
Lately, I've been on a Genesis kick.
Nice.
Specifically, Three Sides Live.
Yes, dude.
Specifically, Volume 2.
Yes, right on.
In the Cage.
Yeah.
You know, Afterglow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I go on walks almost every day, and at some point into my walk, I put headphones on, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, I had it on coming here.
Cool.
It's great. Like, it's just genius, that album.
Yeah.
And
compositionally and just
yes,
creatively and
yes,
production, like
yes,
all of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Chester Thompson is just
So good.
But I don't know. Are you familiar?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
For those that aren't, there are sections in the Cage and Afterglow where, you know, Phil is singing, and then there's this whole section where he's no longer singing, and so he joins Chester Thompson playing two sets at the same time. If you have your headset on or listening to good speakers, when that happens, you will hear Phil in one speaker and Chester in the other.
Yep. Yep.
And it's the engineer, genius. Killed it.
Yeah.
Like 1979-ish.
Yeah.
You know? Like, and so, like, you know, that's what I've been listening to recently.
That's awesome.
I get a lot of flack for this one.
Uh-oh.
I'm man enough. Pink.
Interesting.
Pink. She she says it how it is.
Yeah, cool.
It's heartfelt. It's personal. It's not necessarily following the leader with some of her stuff. And her concerts, ridiculous.
Yeah, cool.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I've heard it's a good show.
It's a great show. Yeah. Me and my daughter are going in September.
Nice.
It'll be the fourth time I've seen her.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Yeah. But the concert is not like a Rolling Stones concert where there's a band up there performing songs. You know, hers is entertainment where something is happening and you're watching, say, the guitarist because he's doing something, not even knowing she went off stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's with anybody up there.
Yeah.
Like, your focus, your attention is drawn to what is happening.
Right on. Yeah.
You know? And it's just, you know, it shows that way all the way through.
Yeah, that's cool.
Plus I like the music.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one for me because the drummers on the recording is not the drummer in the concert.
Yeah.
I don't think
that doesn't surprise me.
No?
No.
He's not on any of the recordings.
Interesting. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I understand using different drummers.
Yeah.
But he's not on any of the recordings.
Yeah.
Which is what, like, you know, again, like, I'm not that much into, like, you know, who's playing, who's touring.
Right. Well, it's interesting. I feel like a lot of what I hear about these days is there's guys that artists hire for tours and that's it.
Right.
And that's all these guys do. Like
they're just touring musicians.
I'm the tour guy.
Yeah.
I play this pop tour. I play this pop tour, and you know, and it's just, you know, they know how to play a live pop
Right,
gig, and
right.
that's their bag.
Right, and that's a different thing than
Yeah.
a studio gig.
For sure.
Yeah, and I get
So
that.
they've found their niche
Mhm.
of, oh, I can just do this,
Yeah.
and make a living and be successful in that way.
And I guess that's like, I was just saying, like the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was a concert.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, the ones recording are the ones performing.
Right.
You know, and in the jazz world, you know, if it's Art Blakey with J.J. Johnson on the recording, well, that's who it is on stage.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So for me to say, well, you know, it's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's one where watching that drummer with Pink, I'm probably completely off. Chuck Schumer? I don't know. I have to look. That could be, like I said, that could be like a name I made up.
Isn't he the politician guy?
I don't know. Is he?
Chuck Schumer. Yeah. He's the politician.
I don't know. Whoever. Look it up.
Yeah.
But watching him
Yeah.
play,
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. There's one of her songs, and I want to say it's Leave Me, I'm Lonely. I think that's what it's called. And there's 2 fills in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've made a couple of my students transcribe those fills.
Cool.
One, it's ridiculously hard. 2, I want to see if they're coming up with what I come up with. So it's me checking my work with them, because the drummers that I'm challenging are on that level that can,
You're and give it,
yeah. And then I hear the live recording, and the fill isn't even close. It's so much more simpler. It's like, no! So, which is interesting, like checking out recording versus live.
Yeah.
Who else am I listening to? Like, listen to the radio, which,
Yeah.
I listen for certain things. Like Adele has a song, and what's happening with the drums is just subtle, and and then 3 minutes in, he's more forceful. Like he changes from mallets to sticks, and but it's one of those things where it's just beautiful playing,
Right.
and so when that song comes on, I like listening to that one. There seems to be a different version of it that they've done. Don't like it at all. Don't like it at all. It's like, I'm not sure why they did it. Miles, of course. I've been listening to Gary Burton.
Yeah.
With Pat Metheny, Steve Swallow, Antonio Sanchez.
Cool.
It's a live recording.
Neat.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
Just.
I love his playing. Antonio Sanchez playing.
Yeah. But they do Falling Grace, which took me forever to learn. You familiar?
I couldn't tell you. I'm bad at song names, so I don't.
Steve Swallow wrote
heard
it.
Okay.
Again, me going back, I don't know if we talked about it here earlier. I learned songs by form. So 8 bars, 6 bars, 14, 6 bars, 4 bars. There's a chord per measure or every 2 measures. And the last 2 measures of the song, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So playing the song, and you're gonna laugh at this in a second. I hear the 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, or just a 2, 5, 1, or whatever it is, at the end. Strange thing about Falling Grace, it's a 24 bar song.
Right.
you know. But the phrasing 8-6-6-4
is, yeah.
I consider it a circular song, where when you play through it, you never really know when the top of the form is. It's not your traditional, you know.
There it is.
Right.
The landing. Yeah.
Right. It's like, you know, it's easy to get lost. So, 8-6, measure 1 of the next 6, C minor. I've learned to hear that chord.
Right on.
So I always know where that, you know, section is. That's how I learned it. And so, like, listening to Gary Burton with, you know, Pat Metheny, like, you know, play it.
Yeah.
You know, it's great.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So that album I've been listening to again. I don't know if there's anyone else. Yeah, just random stuff.
Yeah, cool.
But
yeah, I'm kind of like that too. Just random things, or I'll go back to stuff that I know and have learned, and check it out again. And
I think about going back and like revisiting groups, like jazz groups, like Art Blakey or different Miles stuff. You know, when he played with Billy Higgins, Tony.
Yep.
Well, Tony stuff I'm really familiar with. But like the early 57, 56, 58, like, you know, that stuff he was doing.
Cool. Yeah.
Birth of the Cool. Yeah, just different stuff.
Nice. Hey, what's happening? So, as you can see, I'm still here with Tony, but we probably look a little different because I had some technical problems and lost the tail end of the interview the first time. So, Tony was gracious enough to come back, and we're going to finish things off and give you the grand conclusion of the Tony Deangelis interview. So let's get to it. Mr. Tony.
If they've hung out this long, I guess they're in it for the end.
Right, for sure. So we where things kind of got cut off, we're getting through musical experiences and, you know, gigging and different people and, you know, all that fun stuff, influences. We've been through all of that. How about you get to a gig, and what's something that just makes you crazy, or like just grinds at you either before the gig even starts or during the gig, like a pet peeve kind of situation for you when you're on a gig?
I'm thinking of 2 pet peeves at the moment.
Nice.
The first one is load-in.
Yes.
Load-in can be atrocious. I mean, I remember playing at the Bellevue.
Okay.
Is that where the Ritz-Carlton is now? Do you remember in Philly?
Yeah, maybe.
And I just remember having to drive around back, go in through the loading dock, up through the service elevator, and just, you know, like, could we make it any more difficult?
Right.
You know? And it goes back to the whole thing of, like, you know, musicians or hired help can't be seen.
Yeah.
Right. My other pet peeve is when someone calls a song, and, like, you know, the vocalist will tell the piano player, the vocalist will tell, you know, the sax player, and tell the bass player, and then sax player, sax, whoever turns around to me and says swing.
Yes.
Or bossa.
Yep.
Because I'm a drummer and I don't know songs.
Right.
You know, like.
Yeah.
That just annoying.
Oh yeah, it's brutal, and it happens. I feel like it happens to drummers all the time, and it's, you know, I've been through it. Clearly, you've been through it, and it's just a little insulting. I think, you know, it's just
a lot
one
insulting.
of those things that I'd rather them tell me the tune, and me have to speak up and say, hey, I'm not too sure on that. What kind of feel would you like?
And in your own sweet way, the question is, are we doing the 8-bar tag in between solos, at the end of the solos? Like, you know, don't just say swing when there's, like, you know, stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's a song, I want to say Invitation.
Yeah.
It goes between Latin and swing. but not everyone does Latin swing. Some people
Right.
just do swing.
Yep.
You know, like, I mean, there were times where I fantasized about being a leader on a gig and just calling out swing, seeing if they could guess what song it is.
Right. And here we go. Let's go. We're counting it in. Off we
know,
go.
like-
Yeah.
Take that!
Yes.
You didn't know this was all the things you are? Didn't I count it off right? Like, come on!
Revenge of the Drummers. I love it. We'll get back at you guys.
So, yeah, that's like you said, it's insulting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a drag when
Yeah.
you're just, and it's, you know, and it's a drummer reputation thing. It's like, we're not like these Cro-Magnon men creatures that hide behind this, you know, wall of stuff. You know, it's an instrument. It's music. We're making music back there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yes, there are those that are, you know, the stereotypical sit behind a bunch of
Yes.
stuff and hit things.
Yes.
But when you're in the scene and you're on the level like yourself, we're making music back there. It's not just, oh, they'll be fine. You'll figure it out. I'm like, tell me what's going on, and then I can, you know, enhance the music that's happening.
Exactly.
And that's what we want to do ultimately.
And it got to the point where I was like, you know, well, what song is it?
Right.
Like, just tell me.
Yeah.
You know, because like it's an approach thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, it's not like every swing beat is the same swing beat.
Yep.
You know, it's not like a roll in 505 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's not just like
Yeah.
the drum sound on a Casio keyboard.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, those two, load-ins and yeah.
Approach to tune calling.
There you go.
We'll call it that.
And if I don't know the song, I'll tell you I don't know the song.
Right, and I feel like that's okay. Like, and that's for any instrumentalist, really. I think it's okay if you're in, you know, certainly it happens more often in the jazz world, where people are comfortable with this set of tunes and these people are comfortable with this set of tunes. A lot of times you get to a gig, you haven't played together before, you know, things like that. So it's okay to have a little dialogue before a tune. You know, if someone doesn't know the tune, let's break it down and just you set yourself up for success in the tune. You set the whole ensemble up for success within the tune that way, and you're not just trying to hopefully react correctly. Hopefully, you know.
There are times, infrequent, but there are times when the people in front will call a song and then they'll just count it off, and I won't come in.
Yes.
You know, I'll come in like 8 measures later or whatever.
Yep.
You know, if it's the blues, 12 bars. You know, because, you know, give them the benefit of the doubt. They might think I heard the song. You know, whatever. You know, I did a thing in February, and they counted it, but I missed it, and so I didn't know where 1 was. So I was not coming in.
Right.
I wasn't guessing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I was playing with some heavy cats.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to guess.
No. And like, but it's fine. It works.
Right.
You know, you don't have to start every song.
Right.
You know, but no, like, you know, it's just knowing what
Yeah.
you're doing
Yeah.
and not guessing.
Exactly. Because you want to feel comfortable and confident in what you're about to play or what you're playing within the ensemble too. You know, you don't want to be, I hope this is right. Maybe this is okay. Will this fit? Well, no, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I hear. You know, like you said, if lay out 8 bars, you hear it. Okay. Now I can confidently come in. Yeah, I think that's brilliant. Like,
But yeah, that group was Neil Wenzel, who sax teaches at Moravian. Ridiculous educator. Just
cool.
amazing. Just ridiculous off the wall. Tony Maselli,
Nice.
Tony DeSantis, and
Nice.
Tony Marino.
Oh, jeez.
I was not coming in.
That's a whole lot of Tonys.
I was not coming in with that group. Like,
No. Yeah, no.
I was waiting my turn.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It was probably fine. And then you could come in confidently and...
I mean, there's plenty of tunes where the quarter instrument doesn't come in right away.
Right. Yeah.
It just adds a different dimension.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So.
Dig it. So now we're kind of getting to the tail end, now that we're in part 2. And so the last thing I would kind of get into with my dude Tony is a cool gig story. Something extraordinary, something either terrible, because we've all been through terrible things on gigs, or something like just an amazing, incredible experience, either in a live setting or a studio setting that sticks out in your mind up to this point in your career.
So I'm thinking, I remember playing, I think it was like a union gig, like a musicians union.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's two cool gig things. And I don't know if we're doing a musical. It was like in a band show in the city of Reading.
Nice.
It's like in the middle of like the park. They put this, stage. And my bass drum pedal breaks.
Oh no, dude!
like a screw came out, and like for an hour I had no bass drum.
Oh man!
And for drummers out there, you can get away without a bass drum. But sooner or later, it's like...
That's rough. Yeah.
You need it for certain things.
Yeah.
I now carry flathead screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, pliers.
Yeah.
And what else do I carry? I think that's it.
Yeah.
A couple extra
You're
parts.
ready to go. Yeah.
A couple extra springs for, the side of the pedal.
That's awesome.
I think electrical tape I have with me.
Yep.
That's
very important. Yeah.
Bring your toolkit.
Yeah. I mean, that's a great lesson. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of us have had experiences like that, I'm sure, where you're on a gig and something breaks.
Yep.
You got to still play. Like you can't.
Yep.
Oh, I broke something. I got to go. Like, you're on the gig, like you have to be able to figure it out, and then you learn, okay, well, maybe I should carry this with me, and that'll make a break a little easier to deal with next time.
Right.
And that's...
Yeah. I mean, I've done a gig where the guitarist needed to plug into an XLR adapter.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have an adapter.
Mm.
I bought one. That was not going to be an issue again.
Wow, that's awesome. Good for you.
It's in my cymbal bag.
Yep.
Good
for you.
Haven't needed it, but like, what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you got to come prepared.
Yeah. I keep guitar picks in my bag.
Mm-hmm.
I've given a guitar player a guitar pick before.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, it's not my responsibility,
right. But if it helps the big picture, then...
Hey, the last thing I want is not to have guitars on a trio gig with guitar, bass, and drums.
Right.
It doesn't quite work.
No.
What's the other one I was thinking of? Oh, cool gig.
Yeah.
Again, union gig.
Yeah.
Played Hershey Park.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Fisher sang.
Cool.
Do you know who Eddie Fisher is?
I don't know.
Do you know who Carrie Fisher is?
Oh, yeah.
Princess Leia?
Yeah.
Her dad.
What? Dude, that's crazy.
At Hershey Park.
That's wild. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Was he good?
Sure. It was like 30 years ago.
Right. That's cool.
I might have made $13 on that gig because it was a union.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's
wild.
So those, bass drum pedal playing with Eddie Fisher.
Yeah.
And then I guess the cool thing would be when I did my CD.
Mm.
And we played the West Oak Lane Jazz Festival.
Neat.
With those guys, which was Ralph Bowen, Jim Riddle, Matthew Parrish.
Cool.
But like
What year was that?
2015.
Okay.
Playing with guys like that is just so effortless.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I talked about this earlier, but you know, my belief is, you know, when I go into a group, I want to be the weakest player. I still want to be good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I don't want to have to worry about is so and so going to be able to keep up.
Yeah.
You know, it was my project. I wanted, you know, and so there was at least 3 songs we did with one take.
Nice. Yep.
It was great.
Cool.
You know, like listen back, it's like, yep, we're good. Let's go on.
Next.
You know? So, and then, you know, being able to take that group actually to Chris's for a CD release, and then West Oak Lane at a festival.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So, fortunate. But like, you know, like I said, playing with musicians that, you know, make it easy. You know, shout out to Steve Nishi.
Yeah, cool.
Like, he was someone that's
Great player.
always just, you know, effortless.
Yeah.
He always made me sound good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was, but I thought I sounded good when I played with Steve.
Right.
You know, Steve Varner, another bass player.
Yeah, cool.
You know, same thing.
Yeah.
Chico, Huff.
Yes.
Like, those are the guys that, like, just, like, effortless.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I guess those are the things, you know.
That's awesome.
Pedal, recording, Eddie Fisher.
Yes.
Carrie was not there.
Oh, man. Then that story sucks. That's amazing. That's a great little like tidbit like to have in your pocket. Oh, hey, you know,
Yeah.
I played with Princess Leia's dad.
Yeah. I guess I should set it up that way,
Yeah,
right?
right.
You know, because people don't know who Eddie Fisher is.
Right, yeah. No.
Rightfully, you know, but like, he was a thing in the 60s.
Cool. Neat.
You know, he had
Yeah.
his thing. And, I mean, like I said, that would have been like early 90s.
Yeah.
And I was such a music geek then that I think Carrie Fisher I knew of. But like, I wasn't a Star Wars freak guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you
wow,
know,
yeah.
like I've seen him, but like, you know, I think at the time it was like, Carrie Fisher? Oh, yeah. Princess Leia? Oh, okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so there, you know.
Is that so? That recording you did, is that like on streaming? Is that out in the world somewhere people can listen?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay, cool.
How
do they find it? Like Tony Deangelis? Just look you up.
Yeah,
okay.
Tony Deangelis.
I'll put a link in the comments to that.
I didn't post it. Someone else posted it.
Oh, cool.
I don't know who.
Nice.
But the full album's up, you know.
Great.
I'm on Spotify. Again, I didn't post it, so I'm making no money off of
There.
it.
Perfect.
My 3 cents.
Great. Nice. Yeah.
I don't know. What's the other one? SoundCloud?
SoundCloud. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on that or not.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll add some links in the description, and then you can check them out. We'll get to that.
Yeah. But no, the CD I'm proud of.
Nice.
And you know, it was a Matthew Parrish, the bass player, and me. It was like our project.
Yeah.
You know, that we did. You know, a couple of Matt's songs are on it. A couple of his arrangements.
Cool.
You know, so. And then of course Ralph and Jim.
Nice. Yeah. Pretty happening.
Pretty happening.
Nice. Nice.
If you have the app that can take out the drums, just, you know, listen to the trio.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's probably awesome, man. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah.
And give it a listen.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there you go.
I think we finished it.
Did we?
We got it done.
No more questions?
No more questions.
What did you have for dinner last night?
I'll let you off
Nothing
the
like
hook. Yeah. Vegan. This guy's vegan. Who knew? Love it. But so big thanks to Tony for coming out twice to get this done. And, you know, the beauties of technology and recording, you know, when things go wrong, you just try again and see if you can get it. But we'll have some more of these coming up. I have some other guys lined up that are coming in to visit and to chat. So this is going to be a pretty cool series. And as always, please like
and hit that subscribe button. It's much appreciated. It really helps the channel. And we'll catch you on the next one.